possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is all commercial the same?
No, not at all. I mean, we've got a lot of different property types that are in commercial. You've heard of retail, you've heard of industrial, you've heard of office, you've heard of land, hotels, golf courses, mineral rights, air rights. A lot of different things. Yeah, air rights.
Air rights. So like when Amazon delivers through a drone, how does that work? I'm going off script. Sorry. I just got curious.
The air, that's totally different, but you do encounter some air right issues potentially. But like if someone wants to protect the view in front of their mountain home from someone building up in front of it, you can buy from 100 feet up, whatever the elevation is that you want. So things like that. Just like you can buy mineral rights in the ground.
Yeah, that's super cool. Which neighborhoods and submarkets are emerging?
Well, each product type has a different market. Commercial as a whole, you can't say that there's just one market. So if you're looking in Houston at office space, due to the pandemic, we had, when oil went to a negative $37 a barrel, they had to pay people to take it. Oil companies folded. They bailed on their leases. We had tremendous vacancy. We're still trying to recover from that. That's a big issue. So the office market is totally different than the industrial market, which during the same period of time shot up significantly because of everybody was ordering from Amazon. And there was last mile distribution. So the companies were buying up and leasing industrial warehouses. So big shift. So right now, land, there's a lot of people buying land right now, especially on the west side. Waller County is the number 2 fastest growing county in the country right now. And they have a lot of warehouse industrial development that's planned. There's a lot of residential communities going in too. You go north of Brookshire, there's like, the lakes, 362 and 529, 4,000 homes going in there. So people are buying up land in all speculation. Royal ISD just acquired some land for a high school, junior high, and a football stadium right across the street from that neighborhood. So a lot of land trading hands in that area right now.
Okay. And what economic factors most influence commercial real estate values in this region?
What economic factors? Well, obviously interest rates play a big part. On the commercial side, residential side, you're used to the 10-year treasury really dictating what your interest rates are. That impacts some of the commercial, but the Fed funds rate is really, plays a big part in commercial transactions. So interest rates big. Also the labor force. So paying attention to the migration of people into the area and the labor force that exists, that plays into how people are evaluating where to build the commercial properties, where tenants locate, what kind of labor force there is for their warehouses, for their engineering firms, whatever.
Okay. And what red flags should someone look for when reviewing a property's financials or their rent roll?
Oh, well, whether or not there is a rent roll readily available, someone who's who doesn't have the information at hand, easy to distribute. So if you're dealing with kind of a corporation, a REIT, someone more professional, organized, they'll have all that information there, probably done with some good diligence. Accountants audit the books, that sort of thing. Most of the time when you're dealing with individuals, mom and pop shops, whatever, they're not prepared. And so it takes a lot longer to get that information. Sometimes the quality of it is not good. I've got a client who He has multiple locations, and he likes to pull from one pocket to pay another in that. And as a business owner who you're just running your own business, okay, that's fine. But it's not good when you're trying to sell the business or sell the property. So have to look at the details of the expenses and what they are. Are they personal expenses? Are they business expenses? What they're trying to wrap in there. Overall, one of the biggest distinguishing factors between residential and commercial is numbers. And one of the jokes about residential agents is they know how to calculate their commission. So translating that into the commercial side of things is understanding internal rate of returns, net present value, understanding what a business or an individual is looking to generate off of the property. Most of these are valued based on an income basis as opposed to just a sales comp of how a property is sold in the area. So you have to really get into the financial aspect of these sort of things. If you're not comfortable with finance, it may not be something for you, but if you are, this is something that really I thoroughly enjoy. And if y'all are interested in it, I'd love to be able to show you a path on how to get there.
Yeah, and I was actually leading into my next question was what does it take to be in commercial and how do they work with you?
So we have policies here and they're up on the board. Take a look, and you might have gotten an email. But there's a requirement for being able to do commercial that requires education, classes that you take, specific ones. Some of them relate to the financial aspect to it. Some of them relate to how to understand a particular property type, commercial property type. If you join KW Commercial, we have training. There's Nucleus. There's another new program that we have that takes you from A to Z, lead generation, objection handling, scripts, that sort of thing in the beginning. Teaches you about specific property types, how to know what's important in those property types for a client, how to evaluate those, the financial side of things, to be able to evaluate the property, try to determine what a good selling price is for that property, and then how to carry on through the closing and how to handle commercial clients, because they're a different batch than your residential client.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Chris about commercial?
Yeah.
So I'm one president, and our district has grown a lot, and everything else around here has. So we've got commercial. Could you talk a little bit about the pipeline from land purchase to commercial development to leasing? Because my understanding is most commercial, unless you're high dollar people, most commercial is rented. So could you talk a little bit about that pipeline from here to land developer to
Okay. That's a great topic. In fact, the CCIM program has a 7-class development class that takes weeks to go through. I'll try and summarize it in just a couple minutes. Basically, you can buy raw land, and you can be a land banker, and you can hold that land for however long you want to hold it, wait for the right time. Of course, you do your research ahead of time, knowing that this piece of land is in the path of growth and development, and you're hoping to sell it later for appreciation, capital gains on that, right? Then you could hold that land, but you can add something to it. You can entitle it. You can go to the municipalities and you can get it set up. If it's in a city, make sure it's zoned to the right way for the highest and best use. You can, and when you go through entitlements, you're looking at what the permits are related to construction, because you have an idea of what should be built there in that property. And so you can get all of that information set up for the property for the eventual buyer who's going to develop it. And the next step is you can actually do some infrastructure development. You can bring water to the property. You can bring sewer to the property. Power, you can bring that to the property and get it even further developed and more shovel ready for ultimate user. At each of these stages, you're adding value and you can sell it for a higher price. Next step, you could be the developer who does the vertical development, and you can be a speculative developer. So you can build the type of building that should be used there in anticipation of someone leasing it from you or buying it from you. Like in Waller County, again, they've got a special program out there that's designed for speculative building. If you'll notice, there's quite a few warehouses that have been built out west in between Katy, Brookshire area, Waller County. They've been built, they're vacant, and that's because Waller County gives tax abatements for those properties that are speculative, so they don't have to pay taxes on them for certain jurisdictions until they get leased out or purchased and occupied. The goal there is to go ahead and get the developers to build those assets, put the capital into it. So there's a timeline. They know, the county does, they know that they're going to be able to start making, receiving taxes from those properties at a higher value. So they're incented that way. And the developer's incented because, well, they get to save some money, lower their risk, not have to pay those extra taxes while they're waiting to find a tenant or a buyer. So there's that. And then the next one is to, like, you might be the end user and you might actually occupy that space, so you're building it from there. So lots of different levels of investment that you can make in that. Represent people who are doing it or do it yourself. Does that help? Thanks. Yes. Yeah.
I've known Chris for a long time. He's a huge asset to KDB Signature, and there's only an asset if you leverage it, right? REA talks a lot about leverage. Chris, can you talk to the intrinsic smart capable? If today, what action items can they take in their business to reach out to their database and serve their database, but also generate revenue for themselves by leveraging your talent in commercial life? What would you how would they leverage?
Well, there's a couple of ways of doing that. One is either by referral, and they get a referral fee off of that transaction, or they want to do commercial, then you take a longer step of learning how to do commercial. I recommend that anytime you're talking with your clients, part of your questions, just in general, and you don't have to be too nosy or whatever, very informally, just asking them about who they are, what they do, if they have any experience with commercial. Has that been anything that they would be interested in investing? I mean, you talk to your people anyway about investing, but typically with the mindset that you're leading them to a house to invest in, so you can help them buy the house. So you can certainly ask about commercial. Have they ever thought about that? And at a minimum, you have a team, you have a partner at the office. It's not just me, there's other people here who do commercial that can help too, that can partner to be able to work on that project and handle that for you. So you could refer that to me, you could refer it to someone else. What we like to do is make sure that we're very specific in what we do so that we're competent in it. So like I focus on industrial and land. I'm not really going to be the best option for a retail or hotel type product. I know Imtiaz, if he's here, he does land, but he also does retail. So he'd be somebody that you could reach out to for that. I know Linda helps with a variety of commercial. So you can talk to me and I can help guide you who might be a better source for a particular type that I can't help with. But in regards to if you want to follow the path of getting into commercial, KW Commercial is a great opportunity for you. Become a member of that community under KW, obviously. And there's training, a lot of training. There's a huge network. We've got over 2,000 commercial agents around the country. We've got 135 here in the Houston market. And we get together under KW Commercial Greater Houston. We organize that. We have monthly meetings where we meet, we network, we talk about our properties that we have listed. We talk about the needs and wants that our clients have, so we can try and do deals amongst each other and get deals done faster. So,
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much.
no problem. Thanks.